I'm Sean for the Comics Pals, and we are live in Wizard World, Philadelphia, 2017, having a blast so far. I am here with, is it safe to call you a legend in comics? Is that okay?
I'll leave that to everyone's own personal interpretation.
All right, we'll go with a legend in comics, Dirk Manning. Your friend in comics, Dirk Manning.
There you go. I mean, what was my friend, man? How you doing?
Well, I'm good, and I'm really happy to be here with you because it's been a little while since we've done this.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's been. I'm glad to see you guys back, and we're in Philly. You know, I like getting over the East Coast. Been eating my fill of Philly cheesesteaks. Getting to put my suit might not fit by the end of the weekend, so it's cool, man.
It's hard to do this. There's so much tantalizing food when you go out on the road.
That Reading Market right across the street. If you ever come to Philadelphia, go to the Reading Market. Come to Wizard World, Philadelphia, go to the Reading Market right across the street, and just prepare to eat your weight in good food. I mean, it's like, oh.
We might have to do that, the Comics Pals may, after the show.
I would recommend it, highly.
Awesome. So the last time that we spoke, the Tales of Mystery Volume 3 Kickstarter had just been funded, and there's the book right there. So... So what's kind of been, what have you been up to since then? What have been the releases in the Dirkverse since then?
Oh my gosh. Well, like you said, Tales of Mystery Volume 3 got funded. It is now out. Probably pound for pound my favorite book on the table. But a couple of things I'm really excited about. Love Stories to Die For came out. We did a two-part, two-issue flip book of this through Image Comics a couple of years ago. This trade paperback through Devil's Due collects those two stories as well as 4 other stories. So this is the full volume 1 of Love Stories to Die For. Nia Ruffino did the cover. Super excited about this. It's 5 full-length, standalone, no strings attached, dark horror stories. I give it like a dark love twist. And then a brand new prose story at the back, a prose story that's pretty intense. So I'm really happy about this. But I think what most people have been losing their minds over, waiting for the big finale here. Nightmare World Volume 4 is done, is out. We are compiling everything together for the omnibus right now. We had a very successful Kickstarter campaign for that. So I'm excited to get that out the door. So those are the new ones. Working on a couple of new books, a book called Mariachi. October we'll see the release of the Kickstarter for Tales of Mystery Volume 4. And then some other things, but... people that like games are going to be really excited early next year, I think. Yeah. So there's some good stuff on the horizon.
Cool. What has the reaction to Nightmare World Volume 4 been like because this is the end of it, right?
This is the end, yeah.
There are a lot of hardcore fans out there. What has the reaction been like?
Very positive. Very positive. You know, really you could have technically, I suppose, ended it on 3 and it was satisfying, but there was a little bit more to tell. There was 13 more stories left to really put in there. I'm exceptionally proud of Volume 4. We did the final version of the Shakespeare story I always wanted to do. We did the Kaiju story. I did a story with Dan Doherty, who I know you interviewed earlier, is in there. It's complete. You know, we finally, the nail in the coffin. Here's the story. This is Nightmare World. It's done. Now we move into Tales of Mystery. So I think it's been a very satisfying closure for a lot of people. Plus, you know, I mean, it's been several years since Volume 3 for kind of like the band getting back together, doing one more, you know, mic drop, you know, coming in and like, by the way, yeah, we're starting Volume 4 with a Shakespeare story written in iambic pentameter, and we're going from there. That's it. Yep. And now I can truly move on, like I said, really invest more with Mystery, like I've went on to, but also now start doing some other projects that I feel comfortable doing that now that Nightmare World is done. We can move into Mariachi. We can move into some of these other things I'm not going to talk about yet, but there are some really cool projects coming out.
Very cool. So how does it feel for you, you know, this being kind of your baby in a lot of ways, the thing that, you know, you sort of started with.
My firstborn, yeah, literally, yeah.
How does it feel for you to be out the house, out of the nest, you know, gone, and now you're free? But in all seriousness, how does it feel to have ended that?
It feels great, you know. I mean, this was my first comic. Having the trade paperback out, it's kind of like my kid graduated. When that omnibus comes out and is shipped in everybody's hands in a couple of months, then the baby will have moved out, and that'll be done. But this feels phenomenal. I mean, to get to do a series of 52 short stories with more or less 52 different artists or art teams, it's powerful to have it done, and the people support it to the level they did. Now it's just, for me, all about get the omnibus out the door. I've kept adding more and more bonuses to all the Kickstarter people, We ended up giving them the 22-page bonus comic is now 52 pages.
Wow.
The slipcase is going to look like it's bound in flesh. I mean, just crazy stuff I've been doing. But now we're to the point where we're going to wrap it up, get out the door, and it feels good. And that's when it'll finally be at peace. We move in all the other stuff we're going to be doing.
So speaking of all the other stuff, you did mention Mariachi, and I picked up the first issue the last time that I saw you, and I actually really enjoyed it.
Thank you, yeah. John and Chris, who are the artists on that from El Arto, are actually here at the show too. Oh. So they might be worth talking to at some point. A little cheap plug. You can edit that out if you don't want to talk to them, but no. They're really good guys. And yeah, Mariachi was interesting for me because it's a very different style of storytelling that I think people are used to seeing from me. Yeah. And I intentionally did that because when they approached me about doing this book with them, I didn't want it to look like, Mystery 2.0 or Mexican Mystery or, a Nightmare World story in Mexico.
Right.
I really wanted this to be something different. But whenever you do something different, even though I have very dedicated readers who really like my work, and I'm really fortunate, there's always that, this is different. I'm not sure what people are going to think.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, the reaction to Mariachi has been phenomenal. We released the first 2 issues. They have the second issue at the El Arto table. And then after that, we're going to go, at that point, straight to a trade paperback on Kickstarter and really push forward with it. And I'm excited to see. I sent them the script issue 3, and they were just like, wow, this is not at all what we expected, but we love it, and we're really excited. So even for the artists to get something totally different and be that into it is pretty satisfying.
That's awesome, and for me personally, I'm excited for that. So I can't wait to see that unfold, and I'm glad that you now have the opportunity to focus on some of those other titles.
Yeah, just getting Nightmare World off my mental bandwidth has been kind of freeing the beast. 2018 and 19 is going to be pretty powerful. So
very cool. You actually just wrapped up a Right or Wrong live panel, which you tend to do when you're on the road, which you're on the road very often. And I went to it. I got a lot out of it. So those of you who do come out to see Dirk at any of these conventions, you should definitely check out a Right or Wrong panel or buy the book. Works too. Do both. For me,
it'll only help. It'll only help.
Exactly. It changed my life. So for me, I got a lot out of this panel, and I thought a lot about this, a lot about the sacrifices that come with working in this industry, working in comics. And so I wanted to ask you, what are some of the concessions that you've had to make and some of the sort of things you've had to accept about your life now that you've been doing this for 10 years, but since you've decided that this was the road you wanted to go down?
I think the big thing at this point now is, like I said, last year I did 31 conventions and signing appearances. That's 31 weekends I was not home writing. So now it's going to be about, do I need to do 3 or 4 shows on the East Coast a year, or do I do 2 big ones? Do I do Wizard World Philadelphia, and do I do New York? When I'm in Michigan, do I do 5 Michigan shows a year, or do I do 2? Do I do Traverse City and Motor City? When I'm in Illinois, do I do 3 or 4 shows, or do I do 1? So that I can do fewer, bigger shows and then dedicate more time to the books.
Right.
Now that people know who I am, know what I'm doing, but then also still hitting new markets and just readjusting that balance a little bit. Moving into 18 and 19, I'm looking at really adjusting the balance. I mean, I've got 12 books on my table right now. That's fine. But I got a lot more stuff coming out, and I want to make sure I can dedicate my time to having more and more product out for people, and then getting ways where they're going to be able to find it available to get it as well, whether it be through Kickstarter, through publishers, through the direct market, things of that nature.
So speaking of Right or Wrong, you've mentioned a couple of times that there is a Right or Wrong 2 along the way, and yes. I want to get an update for everyone who might be interested in that as to when we can start to sort of see some rumblings about that and when we can expect that.
I've been kind of informally saying 2019, which sounds really far away, but when you see what's coming in 18, it'll make perfect sense. Like I said, all the comic projects and stuff I've going on. I have a rough, loose outline. I have some work done on it already. It's just, again, bandwidth, mental bandwidth. Sit down, put together the book I want to put together. I've got the title. I know what I want to do with it. I think we're going to launch it on Kickstarter. And after it's come out in 2018, I'll be in a point to really say, okay, now let's talk about what's next. And talk and have a true right or wrong book that'll help take people on the journey to the next part of their journey.
Very cool, and I can't wait for that.
Thank you.
So, here at the Comics Pals, we've got a few big wrestling fans, myself included, Phil as well.
Yes.
And I know you to be a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah, one of the things I enjoyed doing with Love Stories to Die For was I got to finally tell my wrestling story, my pro wrestling story, which I've always wanted to tell. So yeah, yes sir, unequivocal Mark. Heel heat for life.
Oh, I love it. So I wanted to ask you, what do you feel about the state of wrestling right now, and where do you think the industry is, and how do you feel about where it is?
I tell people, pound for pound, Lucha Underground is the best hour of wrestling on television every week it's on. SmackDown's been on a good tear. Raw, I think, is struggling, not having their Universal Champion on the air very much, even though it is the looming specter of Brock Lesnar. I think that shadow is dissipating a little bit. I've been watching a little bit of the TNA Impact stuff again.
Really?
And it's solid, you know. I mean, it's solid. They're bringing back some of the guys that held the company together the first time. Yeah. It's good. A lot of people are loving Ring of Honor. New Japan continues to be a house of fire. So there's a lot of good stuff out there. But if you have limited time, Lucha Underground. First 2 seasons are on Netflix right now. They just started the 3rd season again. Lucha Underground, Lucha Underground, Lucha Underground. Give it a couple episodes, and my God, by the time you get to the first Aztec Warfare match, incredible. Best professional wrestling on television.
I've checked it out on a limited basis. Your endorsement means a lot. I think I will go watch more. It is on Netflix.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and you got, like anything, I give it a little time. You got to let it find its feet a little bit. Right. I mean, but oh my gosh, by the time you get to the first Aztec Warfare match, I mean, Mil Mortis and Phoenix and Cage, and Johnny Munda. Oh, it just there's such good. The trios tag team title tournament or matches. Oh my gosh, I mean, some of the best wrestling moments of the year when it was on.
So I had the opportunity to attend WrestleMania this year.
Oh wow, right on.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What did you think of the show? If you got to catch it.
I did. And you put me on the spot, and I was trying to be a very positive person. I don't agree with all the booking decisions. I get it, I guess. I thought there were some good matches, but a lot of it was just tone deaf to me. I just, you know, I watched it. I wish I could remember more of it. I mean, I was good to see the Hardys come back, who are here at the show.
Yeah. Brock and Goldberg.
Brock and Goldberg actually had a good, short, intense match. I liked that match a lot.
Yeah.
I would rather have seen that match 3 times than, you know. But then again, the Universal Champion had 10 minutes of wrestling in his whole reign.
That's a good point.
It's just tough. Undertaker going out to Roman Reigns, I'm not going to sit there and pick the low-hanging fruit about the continued attempted forced face push on Roman Reigns. But, you know, it just, if I'm the demographic, it struck me as a little tone deaf. If there's a demographic that likes what they're doing, so be it. But I'll tell you what, I rewatch Lucha Underground sometimes. There's matches of Lucha Underground I've watched 4 or 5 times. Yeah. I had to really think about WrestleMania this year to remember what happened besides Undertaker getting a well-deserved send-off, but maybe in a little bit of a tone-deaf manner, I thought.
So if you had to forecast the next main event at WrestleMania, who would you say is most likely, who would you pencil in for that match?
Who do I pencil in, or who do I think's going to get it?
All right, let's do who do you pencil in, and then who do you think will actually get it?
I would love to see Finn Balor with the Balor Club heel champion at WrestleMania.
Oh, man.
I would love that. It's armchair booking. I know it's armchair booking. That's what I want to see. Hell, even put them against a reunited Shield. Okay. What are we probably going to get? Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Yep. I'm a huge Brock Lesnar mark. I love Brock Lesnar. I like him a lot. but I want to see Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe.
Right.
Two of the baddest dudes in the business right now. I want to see Samoa Joe. I want to see Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor. I want to see good matches. And again, Roman's got all the tools and stuff, but I want to see a heel Roman Reigns at this point. Just let us boo him for a while, and we'll probably grow to like him then
Exactly.
Or we won't. I don't know. But again, just some of that stuff's tone deaf right now. But in a perfect world, I would love to see the Broken Hardys. But there's a lot of things there too. I like what Cesaro and Sheamus are doing. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see heel Finn Balor with the Balor Club. I would love to see Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles at Mania.
Yes.
There's a lot of talent there. I think you just need to reshuffle the board and just reshuffle the board a little bit at this point.
I think that's a fair assessment. So I want to talk to you a little bit about Satellite Clit with a K. And he's looking over at Dan, who is tabling to our right.
The voice of an angel, the voice of a garbage disposal.
Now, you guys talk a lot of smack about how there's no real competition for you.
We win pretty regularly. Our win-loss record is very high.
That's fair. That's a fair point. Is there a challenger coming up for you guys that you think could take your championship?
I mean, anything could happen. Right, yeah. Does Jesus sing? That was Dan Doherty, by the way. I guess I'm going to put it. Dan, I'm putting it on blast. Okay. Last year at Cherry Capital Comic Con, Brian O'Halloran from Clerks and things like that was there, and he can. That guy can sing. Make no mistake. He can sing. He did some very base, generic karaoke. He used his Hollywood swag, and he got the trophy. Now, mind you, we go as heels. I know I'm the villain.
Right.
But then to pander and be the cheapest, weakest, most vanilla face and be proud of winning like that, I mean, it's shameful. It's shameful. It's pandering. It's the Mick Foley cheap pop. Like, hey, Philadelphia! So this year, Brian, you had other obligations, things like that, so he wasn't at Cherry Capital. Dan as Johnny Unicorn and myself as Dick Manley went in to a heel room. We went as heels, I should. We went into a hot room.
Right.
And we turned the room, and we won the trophy this year. So the way I see it, at Traverse City, at Cherry Capital Comic Con, Traverse City, Michigan, next year's their 10th year show. Brian won year one with his karaoke So White. I mean, it was like Piano Man, War Pigs, and Creep. I'm like, Jesus, really? Wow. A 7-year-old could do that and win. We went in this year. We did Sia, we did Cream, we did some other stuff, and we won the room. And again, stiff competition. Comfort, Love, and Adam Withers were there. Derek Becker from Comic Pros and Cons. There was some good competition in that room. But we won, rightfully. We probably should have won the first year. And a lot of people, now that they got over the Hollywood aspect of Brian O'Halloran or whatever, or Brian O'Hooligan or Brian O'Shalele, whatever. Dante, if he's been in other movies since then, I don't remember them, but I don't think I'm alone in that. So here's the thing. He won. A lot of people in the room said, you know what, you guys probably should have won the first year as well, but, he was a Hollywood guy. I'm like, I get it. Well, now we won. Year 10, Traverse City, Cherry Capital Comic Con, a rubber match. People are over the Hollywood allure. People have seen what Dan and I do. Let's do real karaoke, put our cards on the table. Let's not Billy Joel it, Brian. That good job, you did Creep. Nice job, man. And you're talented, I get it. But you got a whole year. Bring something new, bring something good, bring something exciting, and we'll see. Is there other challengers out there? There's a lot of good comic book creators getting into the karaoke game that are bubbling up. I have no doubt Dan and I will continue to win a lot more than we lose. But, right now, I'm not going to say I'm looking past everyone to Brian O'Halloran, but I'm really waiting for confirmation to see if Brian O'Halloran is going to step up.
The gauntlet has been thrown, ladies and gentlemen.
You asked.
All right. Didn't expect that. So that was a classic heel promo from a Mr. Dirk Manning.
I hope Johnny Unicorn was taking notes on that. That's true heel heat. That's a good heel promo. That's good. He's getting. I like it. The Dark Dan is coming out more and more every time. We like. Look at that. See, look at that.
I mean, he did write Touching Evil.
He did. I know. It's in. I keep telling him it's in there. It's in there. It's in there. We're getting it. He's such a heel. He's trying to creep into my interview.
Look at him.
Look at that. Look at that.
Look at him. What a diva.
Look at that. Look at that. There's something in there. We can work with this. Sounds like a George Animal Steel promo.
Now, what if I told you that the Comics Pals might be looking to get into the karaoke game and would like to challenge for the championship?
Might? You already lost.
There you go. There you go. I really don't have a comeback for that.
You shouldn't. You already lost. I mean, if you want to karaoke just for fun, that's fine, and so that you can get the rub and say you battled us. But that would be like Pee Wee Herman stepping up to Brock Lesnar at this point. But I fought him. That's fine. I mean, yeah, sure. Come karaoke. I like you guys. You're awesome. You're friends of mine. I have no problem helping give you the rub. We will karaoke against you. But do not come at me and Johnny Unicorn and Dick Manley, Dirk Manning as Dick Manley, and say, we might beat you. No, just stop.
Okay.
Come have a good time. We'll give you an exhibition match. You'll feel good that you got to run with the big dogs for a minute. We'll get to tune our pipes up, clean up a little bit, and that's fine. It's fine. But don't ever come at the champion with might. Don't ever come at us with might. You already lost. But we will give you an exhibition. We'll go from there because we like you.
Sounds good.
A lot.
There's potential for us to take them up on that challenge, and you guys should stay tuned for that.
There it goes again. See, potential. We might take them up. I'm giving the comic book creator, karaoke champion said, you can have an exhibition match. We might take you up. No. No.
All right.
I'm saying we will give that to you. You should say, thank you, sir. May we have another at some point if we ever if we're proven worthy to be in a karaoke room with you. And because I like you guys, you do great work, I would probably do that. But not if you're going to be a jabroni. If you're going to be a jabroni, maybe we'll see we'll get. No. You're better than that. You're better. Don't be a jabroni.
Well, if
there are jabronis listen. There are jabronis everywhere, all right? The biggest takeaway from this, don't be a jabroni. Don't be a jabroni. Don't be a jabroni. Go in, rock it, own what you have. Know when you're stepping up. If your arms aren't long enough to box with God, that's fine. Own it. Maybe I can. No, you can't. Come in, do your thing. Don't be a jabroni.
Well, now that I've been thoroughly trounced, I want to say that you have motivated me, Mr. Dirk Manning, to issue an official challenge on behalf of the Comics Pals, and I am telling you right now, we're coming for the gold.
That's fine. Bring dessert. Bring dessert.
Sure.
Because after we are done serving you, it will only be fair that all of you serve us.
Moving right along.
Never break kayfabe, sorry.
Before I let you go, I do want to talk about something that you've sort of been teasing lately, which is a potential collaboration with Twiztid.
Yeah. I'll go on record right now. It's official. The book will be released through SourcePoint Press. Details very, very soon on the release date. I can't give that away yet. But a big comic book release should happen at a very big show. Maybe one of the biggest shows in the country. Maybe a real big show on the East Coast in the fall, perhaps. I don't know. Twiztid's kind of a a spooky Halloweeny band, maybe October would be a good month. So maybe a big East Coast show in October, perhaps, for the Twiztid comic, written by Dirk Manning and published by Source Point Press. So we'll see what happens with that.
For those of you who can't smell what he's cooking, I think he's talking about New York Comic Con.
I did not confirm or deny that. I will just say, keep your eyes on the fall. The book is happening, Haunted Highlands, #1, this fall, written by Dirk Manning, drawn by Mariana Pescosta and Alessandro Iggy DeForno, who did the first issue of Tales of Mystery, Volume 3. So we're talking about this art team that drew this chapter of the book right here, are drawing the Twiztid comic. Very, very excited about that. They are rocking it. And we're really excited about the debut issue coming out this fall.
Very cool. And is there anything else that you want to let people know that you're working on, or a message you want to leave with the pals at home?
Thank you for all your support. Thank you to you guys. I'm really happy you're doing what you're doing. You're my friend. I will take no pleasure in destroying you in karaoke, but I promise we'll have fun. Yeah. And thank you to all of you who support my work, things like that. I followed my work through the Comics Pal. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, at Dirk Manning. Website's dirkmanning.com. If you like scary stuff, come check it out. And yeah, I'm on Amazon as well, your local comic shops. And thank you for supporting good horror.
Awesome. And again, you guys should definitely check out a lot of this stuff. It's all great. I endorse it. If that means anything to you guys out there, it's good stuff. So that's going to wrap up my interview with Dirk. Thank you again so much for taking the time to do this for me. Very appreciative.
It's a pleasure. We'll do this.
There we go.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Much
you.
love to all you guys. Thank all of you out there. And thank you.
I'm Sean, here for the Comics Pals. You can find us all over the place, all over social media, at the Comics Pals. We're everywhere. If you want more content like this, we're here all weekend covering Wizard World Philadelphia. So stay tuned for the rest of that stuff. I'm Sean, signing off. Take care, guys. Thanks.